Good afternoon, y'all. Listen, I'm going to make a chicken pot pie, but I'm gonna do all my stuff today, and then in the morning when I get up, I'm just gonna put it all in there and pop it in the oven and be ready. But the first thing I did is I bought me a big fat chicken. Look at this. And it's got and I've already washed it, and on the inside of it, you have, on a chicken like this, there's a cavity. See? A cavity right here. And in that cavity, you're going to find some, what I call the goodies. You're going to find some. And I'm going to show you what I found. I've already washed it once. I'm going to put it right here in this pan. And here's my bowl that I'm going to put my other stuff in. You're going to find a neck. Now, George's mama always fried the neck. She always did. She left the skin on it. And I'm going to fry that neck. You're going to find a liver. I'm going to rinse the liver off. You're going to find, here's a little bit more of the liver. Right here. I'm sure they hadn't got 2 livers in there. Here's the heart. There's the heart of the chicken. And then this is a piece of the gizzard. This is not a whole gizzard, because I love gizzards, and I can tell that that's not all of it. And on the gizzard, what I do is this. That real thick part, I just put a little bit of a slit down through that part. And it helps it to cook better, see, because it's so thick. A gizzard is solid muscle. It's really actually good for you because it hadn't got any fat or hardly any on it at all. It's just all muscle. But anyway, I've got my water boiling over here, or fixing to boil. I'm not going to put my chicken in a boiling water, but what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to boil this chicken, and I'm going to do my carrots and other things to get it all ready, and then tomorrow, all I've got to do is just pop it in the oven. I want you to look at this pretty apron I just got. Isn't that pretty? I decided I'd go ahead and start wearing it, even though it's not quite Thanksgiving yet. I want to enjoy it. I got a letter a while ago from a gentleman in California, and he sent me a beautiful, beautiful Christmas book. I can't wait to sit down and look at it. It's got gorgeous pictures in it, just an heirloom piece. And I received another a little Christmas tree that somebody had painted the manger scene on it. And y'all, I want to just tell you this because I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm thankful that God let me be in your kitchen with you because I've read so many notes that said so many people were lonely, and so many people were by themselves, and they were shut in, and so I'm just glad that I had that privilege, that I'm not worthy of it, but the Lord let me do it. He let me be in your kitchen, and I'm so glad of that. So thank you for watching me and following me. It means a lot to me, and I know it does to the Lord, that we can just be happy together and be in each other's kitchen. So let's, that being said, I don't want to get too emotional. I'm going to put our chicken in some hot water, or some water that I fixed to turn on hot. I've got a really big pot over here that I'm going to put him in. It's no use cutting up a chicken if you're going to boil it whole. You just want to do that, and you want to put a little bit of salt on it. And we're going to turn it on, and go ahead and turn it on high. And then when it starts boiling, you can turn it down like you want to, okay? Wash your hands good with this Amish Farm soap. Get all the chicken off because we're fixing to do a carrot here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and cook my carrots and get those tender. And I'm probably going to cook that neck and that gizzard and liver and heart for my supper tonight, since I don't have any supper. All right, so let me get my carrots ready, and then I'll be right back with you. I've already cut up all my carrots except for one. I just wanted you to see what kind of carrot I'm using. I use these big carrots like this, And I do peel mine. I scrape it with this carrot scraper because it doesn't take long, and I just prefer these over those little carrots. So that's what I do. I noticed though this bag of carrots didn't have but 4 giant carrots in it, but actually that was enough of what I needed. And I've already got these, and what I'm gonna do is put them a little in water, and I'm gonna put just a scoop of salt, not much, and I'm gonna boil these carrots. I've cut these up in circles, and I'm gonna cut this one right here up in a circle, and then we're gonna boil it. We got our chicken trying to boil. It's not there yet, but it will be soon. And I also, I'm going to boil 6 eggs. I might as well go ahead and put those on. See, I've got them down in here, and I'm gonna put me some water on these, and I'm gonna boil those. So our chicken salad is going to have dumplings. I'm gonna make dumplings for you. And it's gonna have chicken, and it's gonna have some of these green, I call them English peas. I don't know what y'all call them, but that's what we call them down here in the South. My husband called them China berries. He doesn't like them. But he learned to like them. He surely did. I'm gonna put our eggs on. We'll cook those right here. Get those going, and then we're gonna cut up this carrot, and then everything will be made except for the dumplings, and that doesn't take long. And I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator tonight, and in the morning I'll get with you when I get up, and we'll roll out our dumplings. This carrot's not easy to cut. He's wanting to jump around a little bit. Anyway, we're gonna roll out our dumplings and put it in there, and I got to debone that chicken at some point. I probably will just put the dark meat in our chicken pot pie and save the white meat for some chicken salad. Would y'all like to do that? Okay, so what we've got here is I've got my carrots in here, and I'm gonna put those on my back eye. I've got one eye that won't work. I'm telling you, there's always something in it. So I've got one big eye and 2 little ones. My stove's played out. I had it fixed, and the guy came and fixed it, but it didn't last long. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is y'all can watch me do this. Let's see if y'all can get you right over here, and y'all can watch me do this little part, and then I'm gonna turn you off until let me get you over here. See if we can sit you right here. I don't know if we can or not. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a little bit of fried foods right here. I'm going to take this little tiny skillet, and let me get me some oil out. I'll be right back. Okay, I put just a little bit of oil in there. It looks like about 3 tablespoons or so. I've got it on hot eye. I am going to put some pepper on my gizzard and my neck, my heart and my liver. Spread a little salt. And I'm going to get some, excuse me, I'm going to get some plain flour. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. I got that pepper in my throat. Let me cough a little bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna live. That pepper got all in me. But anyway, I put me some, this is white lily plain flour, okay? And I am just kind of moving it around in here and getting each piece coated. Now, when you're cooking something like this, I'm gonna cook it really slow. And so you need to, I need a little bit more flour. Let me get it. You want it to be coated good. Okay. So when you're cooking something slow, you need to have a top on it. And don't be stirring it too much. And when you turn it, get a spatula to do it so you don't knock all the goodie off. Now, I know that some of y'all are being grossed out by this. And I realize that you weren't raised like me. But my daddy and I, we both loved gizzards. Mama didn't like them, but we did. And we ate them. But all of us like chicken livers. And my children do too. And we just that's just how we were raised. And you know, everybody's raised different. I'm sure that y'all eat some things that I've never had. And so, I hear our carrots boiling. Let me turn those down. We don't want them to be torn up. We just want them tender, but not like a mush. All right, I'm going to turn you around this way so you can see my skillet. Here's my skillet with my little oil. I'm going to put it on the front eye. I've got it a little bit hot. And I'm going to drop my stuff in. Now, it's not going to take very long to cook the liver. But it'll take a while to cook the gizzard and the neck. So I'm going to put my liver in. And here's another liver. They gave me 2 livers in there. There's a piece of, this is the heart. And here's the neck of the chicken. And it's still got the skin on it. That'll be real crispy. We'll put it in there, and I've got it on low. I had it on low. I haven't got it on anything now. All right, I'm going to turn on 3, and I'm going to put a top on it. And that's what you would call smother fried. So I'm going to leave it in there, and that can be my supper. And then this other part is going to be our lunch tomorrow. So I'll have on something different when I cook tomorrow, or put it in the oven for you. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Time to turn my gizzards and things over. And what I've done is got a spatula because I'm going to go up under it so that I don't tear the goodie off of it. I don't want to stick it with a fork. Can you see how brown that's getting right there? See how pretty that looks? And go up under the liver, turn it over, and the heart, and there's another liver. There's the little gizzard right there. Little piece of one. They didn't give me much of that. Now I'm going to put it back on here and put the top back on it because we want to cook slow and get thoroughly done. Okay? All right. All right, y'all, we're going to make the dumplings. And so what I need to tell you is this. I threw away my bag of white lily flour that has the, because I keep buying in this thing. Y'all know that, don't you? So I threw away the flour that I'm using. I threw away the bag of it and put my flour in here. So really, I keep this in my jar right here. I keep it in my jar to tell me what I'm using. When you're making dumplings, you want to use all-purpose, let me turn it right side up, all-purpose flour. So just pretend like that was sticking right there. This is all the plain flour I have is right here in this jar. I'm about out. So, know that to make dumplings, you don't want them puffing up. You don't want them swelling. So you need to use the all-purpose flour. And I just keep this in my jar right there. And that way I know what I've got. So we don't want to use this one. That's my biscuit stuff. I don't want to use it. Here is my bowl that I keep my plain flour in. Right here. You know, my biscuit bowl is dark green, okay? And I keep my plain flour, or my all-purpose flour, in this bowl all the time. I just keep a cloth over it. And so, and I sift it after each time I use it. So, we're going to make some dumplings. And here's how you do it. You take your white lily all-purpose flour. You sift it in a bowl. And if you got any little crumblies, you throw those out, which I'm fixing to do, all right? And I'm going to get me a little bit more flour to put in there because my bowl was about empty. Just about it. Let me get me a scoop right here. There we go. I had a scoop in it. I don't know what I did with it. All right, here we go. I'm getting out some flour out of this container right here, and this is my plain flour, my all-purpose. I think 2 more scoops ought to do it. I like a lot of flour in my bowl when I'm making dumplings. I'm not going to use all of it, but it's going to be in there. It's going to be in there because this is the way I do it. Let me pull this down instead of moving that. We just move this, okay? All right, let me sift this real quickly. Our chicken's over there boiling so good. I just tasted a carrot, and it's not quite ready. Boy, tomorrow we won't have to do anything. We're going to do it all tonight, aren't we? Most of the time I do it on the same day, but this time I'm not because I know my camera's crooked. I can see it's crooked. Straighten y'all up a little. There you go. All right, I'm gonna get about a chicken egg of grease. I don't want too much, okay? Just a small amount. I'm gonna make a bird nest in here, and I know you can't see well the way I got my camera set up, but we're doing the best we can. And we'll put that in there. It's almost like you were making biscuits, okay? I've already shaken my buttermilk. I'm gonna let's put a cup in there, okay? About that much. And then I'm gonna put my hand in there and I'm going to work that buttermilk around in there. If I could help y'all to see, I don't know how I can do that. Let me see if you can sit up here, see if you can see in the bowl. You can see in there, can't you? Okay, here we go. My buttermilk's in there. Do you notice that the flour in the bowl is completely dry? Did you notice that? That's the reason you could use it over and over and over again. All right, so I'm just mixing that in. Make sure when you're squashing it together, you're not just doing it with your fingers like this. Get it up into the palm of your hand and mix that flour in with that buttermilk. Since this is the all-purpose flour, our dumplings are going to be real flat. Real flat. And they don't take long to cook either. You can also make fried pies out of this. If I have too many, I'll save my dough, make some fried pies, or maybe make some dumplings another day. My mother used to boil neck bones from a pig, and you could buy them at the store. They were called neck bones, and she'd make real good dumplings out of those. All you need is broth. Somebody told me one time that they used to make what's called butter bean dumplings. I've never made those, but I can see where they would be delicious. All right, if you were making biscuits, you'd probably do them out right now because that's about right. But we're not making biscuits. We hadn't even got the right kind of flour, do we? We got plain flour. Biscuits you always make with self-rising, and you cook them on 500 degrees. So, all right, so I'm going to say that I'm about through. All right, so I'm going to take this out like this. And I am going to put it on my surface, and I'm going to really knead it and work it a while. I'm going to put a lot more flour in it. So I'm going to just set this bowl right here out of the way. I'm going to flour this little area. Take my dough out. And we're going to, man alive, I wish I had my other camera, my other stand. I left it at the beach, but they're bringing it to me, they said. Now, you know, we're creatures of habit, aren't we? We get used to one thing, and anyway, I'll have it. I'll come next week. They're coming, and they're going to bring it to me. All right, look, y'all. If you roll your dumplings out, and they are sticking to the surface, add more flour. That's how you know if it's ready or not. And this is just as soft as it can be, so I know they're not ready. They're not anywhere near ready. All right. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm just going to put these in a bowl and put them in the refrigerator, and tomorrow I'm going to roll them out. They'll be good and cold, and hopefully won't stick to my surface. If they do, I'm going to have to put a little more flour in it. All right. See how stiff they are now compared to where they were a while ago? You see that? They're not near as tender as they were a while ago. Okay, we're done. That's it. All I got to do in the morning is roll them out, drop them in my broth, and I'll be ready. I'm going to put this in a bowl and cover it with some plastic wrap. And there's our dough. There's our dumpling dough. Okay. All right. See you in a minute. Okay, y'all, our gizzards are ready. Our livers. I'm going to take them up, let you see them. A little bit of goodie on the bottom, that little crunchy stuff. You know, I always get that. Move that off. I like mine with ketchup. I always have. There's your heart. These are livers. There's your gizzard. No, that's the neck. That's the neck. That's the heart, the neck, the gizzard, the liver, and the liver. Because they gave me 2 livers. So I'm fixing to eat this. This is my supper. And I'll be with you after a while. I love y'all. All right, y'all, our chicken is done, so I'm going to try to get it out of here. It should be very, very tender because we've been boiling it. You want to boil it till it's just super tender, okay? And make sure you leave all the fat on it and everything because that's where your broth makes it taste really good. I'm going to move this back here now. Let that broth cool. We got our eggs in here, and here's our chicken. Let's see if I can get you. Let me turn it around this way. I'm having problems with. There you go. There's our chicken. See, that's his back. I can flip him over but see how tender look. Let me show you something. Do you see how that look at that? It just falls apart. That's what you want. See there? It just falling apart, and you want to make sure that you cook your chicken really super good. And then when that cools, I'm gonna debone it. Good morning. It's time to make our dumplings. I put this in the refrigerator last night and I divided it into little clumps of dough. You know, we made it yesterday, so I'm going to quickly show you how to roll out a dumpling. First, you put your little flour on your surface. And you remember, we don't want it to be sticky. You can just beat it all you want to. Take your aggression out on this dumpling. I'm talking a little low this morning. Banks just got up. She spent the night with me last night. All right, so you take your rolling pin. I always put a little flour on my rolling pin too. It really helps it. You want to roll out your dumplings as thin as you possibly can. And let me put this on. Here's our chicken broth. I'm going to put it on there because you got to have it at a rolling boil. I've already had it to a rolling boil once this morning and turned it off because I thought all my broth was going to boil away, and it will. But you want it at a rolling boil. So what you do is you roll out your dumplings like this. And we're going to cook them about 10 minutes or so. You don't have to completely cook them, but cook them about 10 minutes or so in your broth, and then we're going to put them in our pie. I'm only going to show you how to do one of these little old circles because I've saved the rest of it. And I'll do it so my video won't be so long. See how thin I'm rolling it? Whoop! Get back over there, fella. There we go. It's nice and briskly outside this morning. That's what George used to say. Instead of chilly, he'd say briskly. All right, so what I do with mine is I cut mine up with a spatula because I'm going to put them over there in the broth with a spatula. So you just take this. Let me pull it this way where you can see a little bit better. See, it's boiling now. So what I do is I just cut little thin strips like this with a corner on my spatula. Then I cut this way. Now, if it sticks to your surface, you know what that means. You need to add more flour. Mine's not sticking. All right, I put them in there like that. You drop them in there in your broth, and we're going to let them cook maybe 10 minutes or so, just till they get kind of tender. And then we will, when they do, we're going to build our pie. This is why I do it with spatulas. Can y'all see the reason I do that? Because I get through my work a whole lot quicker. A whole lot quicker. Got my I deboned my chicken yesterday while y'all were doing whatever you were doing. I deboned it. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I drop dumplings on the floor. Accidentally, of course. So I have to clean my floor every time I make dumplings. All right, that's it. I'm going to let those cook 10 minutes, and then we're going to build our pie. I'm going to do one more while you're not with me. Okay, let's build our pie. I've got this out. I think it's about a 9 to 12, 13, something like that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is dip it here and get just a few dumplings. Drain them a little bit. Put them in the bottom of my casserole dish and spread them around. Then I'm gonna take a few carrots. Put that on there. You know, we cooked these last night. I just put them in the refrigerator so the next morning it's real easy to build. Take a few English peas, put those on there. I'm sure y'all can see pretty good. Then I'm gonna take a little knife. Let me get one out. And I boiled 6 eggs, and I'm gonna just put those in little circles around on here. Some of them I didn't peel very good. Look at that. Isn't that terrible? The reason is because they were fresh eggs. Remember, if you're gonna boil eggs, use the ones that are that you bought first. Okay? Use the ones that you bought first. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Then I deboned my chicken last night. Got this big bag of it. And so I'm just gonna take some of it and kind of just shred it just a little bit in my pie. It's gonna be good, y'all. I love chicken pot pie. Now, if you didn't want to have chicken pot pie, you could have just made your dumplings and put in that broth it had, and then put your chicken back in it, but don't put a whole lot of chicken in it when you're redoing it. You can just make a chicken salad or something with what's left over. You could have had chicken and dumplings. All right, let's put another layer of dumplings. Sprinkle that around here and there. Like that. Another layer of carrots. You don't have to be specific. Just put it on there best you can. We ain't got time to do a lot of fooling, have we? All right, let's put that on there. Get us a couple more eggs. Put that on there here and there. There's a yolk that just fell out of it. I'll just crumble it around. That'll be good. Put another one. Okay. Make sure this person's got what's on. Put a little chicken. I think I got too much for that layer. Okay, let's put a little bit of chicken here and there. Just kind of, you don't have to chop it up. You could, but I kind of like it in these long, skinny things when you're doing. All right, put that on there. All right, now then, reach in here and get a little bit more dumplings. Put that around. See, this is gonna be so good, y'all. Oh, and I forgot, I wanted to add a little bit of pepper. Let me add a little pepper to that. I salted my chicken when I boiled it, so, but I do want a little pepper. So that way when they reach in there, they get a little pepper too. All right, I'm gonna finish up. This was 1 can of these little English peas, just a regular size can. When George and I first married, he wouldn't eat an English pea. He wouldn't even eat them. But by the time I got through with him after 50 years, he loved them. You know, you can't change people. They have to kind of change themselves. He learned to love them after a while. I've always loved them. Mama always fixed a little can of English peas when she did cream potatoes. All right, we got 1 egg left. Let me put him on there. Put some over here. Okay, and just a little bit more chicken. I think we about got enough chicken. I don't want a whole lot of chicken. I like the dumplings better than I like anything in this whole pie. All right, here we go. Now then, here's what you do. After you get it built like this, okay, you got your chicken pot pie. You get you a some kind of cup, whatever. dip in your broth. Get you some broth and pour it all over the top of it. And I don't know how much to tell you. You want it to come up to the top though. You know, just kind of fill it in. Okay, I'm gonna put one more. I think that'll be plenty. It is. All right, there we go. Now this other broth, you could just make some more dumplings or put some rice in it or whatever you want to do. All right, see the broth that's in it now? Can you kind of see? All right, now we're gonna come over here and put this, I rolled the rest of that dumpling dough out real thin for our crust, okay? So let me see if I can turn you around to this. Y'all see this right here? Can you see it? I think you can. All right, let me show you what I'm gonna do now. Let me get my pie over there. I'm gonna put this pie crust on top of this pie like this. Then I'm gonna pull this off. Hopefully it'll come off. It did. It is. It is. It is. It is. Let me see. Easy does it, Brenda. All right. Just kind of do it down in there so you can get rid of the air pockets. Here's a little hole. Let me see if I can patch him up just a little bit. Okay. Let me get you over here where you can see the top of this thing. Y'all, if I can ever get my other... Let's see if we can do this. All right, I think you can see it right here. All right, there's our crust. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some butter. This good soft butter, and I am just going to, well, gosh, it was soft. It's colder this morning than I thought. That won't even cut with that. My word, this wintertime weather, we can't have soft butter, can we? I'll just have to pinch off a few little things to put on here. And I'm going to put it in a 400-degree oven until the crust gets good and brown. Those dumplings will be done. Everything else in it is done. So we don't have a thing to worry about. And you've got a complete meal. You've got your meat, your bread, your vegetables. All you need is some y'all sweet tea, which I'm fixing to make here in just a little bit. And we're going to have y'all sweet tea and this. That's all we're going to have, except for a pound cake that a friend made me. We're going to have that for dessert. All right, now then, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut off just a little bit of this extra dough that's hanging over the side here. And hold it. I'm going to hold it. Show you how much I got left. Cut a little bit off on this side. You don't want to cut it down in there because you don't want your dough falling down literally in the pan if you can help it. All right, there we go. We're ready to pop it in the oven. And it's going to be good, y'all. Hey, y'all, I'm fixing to make this sweet tea for dinner. It's y'all sweet tea. Y'all have heard me say something about it. It is so good. You can read the comments. And you'll know it's delicious. What I did is I put it in hot water. I put that tea bag in hot water, but not boiling water. Matter of fact, there's 2 cups in there. I'm going to push it down in that hot water, and I'm going to put that on it. Then I'm going to pour it over ice, put my sugar in it, and it's going to be good, y'all. Y'all sweet tea. All right, y'all, our chicken pie is ready. Let me sit you right here, and I am going to take it out so you can see it. Our chicken pot pie. Get me 2 pot holders out. All right, here we go. All right, get over here and let me let you look. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? It's all toasty brown all on top. Listen, hear how crunchy the little crunch is. I'm not going to cut it right now because or dip into it because I'm fixing to have it for Sunday lunch. And I don't want to let the heat out of it. So y'all can't see in it right now, but it'll be juicy and all your dumplings will be good. And I didn't cook it till just that got brown. If you don't want it that brown, then don't cook it that long because everything in it is already cooked.